There are things that look like stubbornness until they look like something else entirely. Atlas was a 4-year-old German Shepherd, 78 pounds, and had been with the Delacroix family since he was 8 weeks old. He was not a dramatic dog. He did not bark at passing cars, or spin at meal times, or perform for guests. What Atlas did was observe. His default was stillness and attention. And in 4 years, the Delacroix household had calibrated itself around that quality, the way you calibrate around a reliable piece of furniture. Jonah was 2 years and 3 months old, all forward momentum and no brakes, and had recently discovered that the backyard was significantly larger and more interesting than the kitchen. It was mid-July. The grass was high from a wet June that had gotten ahead of Leon Delacroix's mowing schedule. Jonah's mother, Priya, had been letting him play in the yard in the mornings while she worked on the porch where she could see him. On the first morning, Atlas started cutting Jonah off from the back fence. Priya thought he was playing. The dog would angle in front of the boy. Jonah would redirect. Atlas would follow, patient as a sheepdog running a lesson. She filmed 30 seconds of it because it looked funny. Second morning the same. Jonah seemed less amused. He made several purposeful approaches to the fence, and Atlas deflected each one with a physical body placement that was never rough, and never failed. Priya called Leon out to watch. They agreed Atlas was probably picking up on something. A neighbor's dog? Maybe. A smell he didn't like. Third morning. Jonah had graduated to attempting the fence from different angles, which suggested a toddler's emerging problem-solving and an impressive persistence. Atlas covered each approach. Priya noticed his demeanor had shifted slightly. He was not playing anymore, if he ever had been. His ears were forward. His body language was what she had seen once when a stranger approached the yard gate. Controlled, deliberate, on duty. If you stay for stories about what animals sense before we do, you're in the right place. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. On the fourth morning, Leon walked the fence line before letting Jonah outside. He found the nest in the second section from the right corner, built into the dense overgrowth at the base of the wooden slats where the grass had grown tall against the fence. Ground wasps, not bald-faced hornets, ground-nesting yellow jackets, a colony that had been building since at least early June based on the size. The entrance tunnel was partially hidden by a grass clump. You would not see it unless you were looking. A 2-year-old running in the grass would not have been looking. Leon stood at the fence and thought about Jonah's trajectory over the past 3 days. Always toward the right corner, always to that specific section. He thought about Atlas moving to cut him off every time. He called an exterminator. He kept Jonah out of the yard for 4 days. He did not film the nest or the exterminator because he was not thinking about filming. He was thinking about what would have happened if Atlas had not decided 3 days earlier that the fence line was a boundary that needed keeping. Has your dog or pet ever done something that made no sense until it was the only thing that made sense? Tell us in the comments. These stories deserve to be heard. Ground wasp stings in a 2-year-old who weighs 28 pounds and has never been stung before and whose allergy status is therefore unknown. Leon did not need a doctor to finish that sentence for him. He already knew where it ended. Every guardian deserves to be recognized, even the ones who never asked for anything in return. If stories like this matter to you, subscribe so you never miss the next one. Atlas still works the yard. Not every morning, not on a schedule. But when Jonah is outside, Atlas is there walking a loose perimeter, nose into the grass, checking. It looks like a dog enjoying a backyard. Leon knows it is something else. The next story involves a cat who began acting differently around one family member 6 weeks before anyone understood why.